Hi there, beautiful souls. Welcome back or welcome to The Hawk and I. My name is Lana Zelinsky and I work in the spirit dimensions. As always in all my videos, simply take what resonates and you're welcome to leave the rest right here. I'm sharing with you today a fascinating experience that I had with a client during a regression. I've only had similar experiences like this a handful of times in all the years that I've been doing regression work. This client was a brand new soul. First time in the physical world, first time in a physical body, and they were able to share with me what it's like up in the spirit dimensions before they got to come here. It's absolutely fascinating, and I do hope that you enjoy this little chit chat on new souls versus old souls. Now, this client was very interesting to regress because during the regression process, I wasn't able to get them to experience a past life. And it took me a few attempts before I realized what was going on. They began to describe the spirit worlds. They began to share with me the learning pods that their soul has spent many years in up in the spirit dimensions. Now, I have explained this before. There is no timelines in the spirit dimensions. It's like an infinity. So there's no time. The time is a physical world thing. So thousands of years up in the spirit dimensions, it doesn't really feel like thousands of years. But the new soul shared with me that before we come down into the physical world, our soul needs to be ready. So there's like little learning pods, is how they explained it to me, with gaining experience as a soul and growing as a soul before coming into the physical world. Old souls. Many of us are old souls. Us old souls have had many experiences coming into the physical world. We tend to be wiser than our years. Quite often, older souls learn lessons very quickly. Older souls are also very much okay with alone time and quiet time. Quite often, old souls connect to nature, spirituality. Old souls are quite often very grounded. They're great support people. Old souls often go into lines of work that involve helping people. They often go into spirituality work or healing work. Quite often, old souls like to be in service. They like to be helping people along the way. Old souls have extremely sharp intuition. They do have this inner knowing, and are also big empaths. Old souls tend to feel things from other people and be very empathetic. Old souls also are really okay with learning and tripping and falling and getting back up. Quite often with an old soul, it's really hard to knock them down. And it's very similar with souls who have had perhaps a few experiences in the physical world. But with the middle-aged souls, or a soul that's only come here a few times, they do tend to sometimes need a little extra time with figuring out their lessons. Quite often, they'll take the long way around the lesson. And the middle-aged souls tend to prefer to be in more group settings. Now, these young souls, and I have been saying for a little while in a lot of my journaling that there is an increased number of new souls here in this time frame, as well as new souls that are coming in the future years, and they're coming to do a little bit of shifting in the physical world with new ideas. New souls tend to like to experience things. There's not really much you can tell a new soul as far as advice goes, because they experience their growth and development by tripping and falling and getting back up. It's like if you meet a new soul and you say to them, don't touch that, it's hot. They are touching it 100%, 1,000 times to make sure. New souls learn through their new experiences. Now, they do have a lot to teach the physical world because new souls have this spontaneity, this ability to really align to the vibration of fun. Quite often with new souls, they just want to have fun. It's all about fun. They quite often may not be able to make decisions very quickly. They quite often like to experience different careers. They also like to experience different people. Often new souls will have several different types of relationships. They will have, I don't want to say the word trouble maintaining relationships, but they do tend to like to experience people in different forms and in different ways. They like to have that people contact. They quite often don't like a lot of alone time. The new souls like to be surrounded by people. They like to be surrounded by learning. They like to be surrounded with noise. Even they just like all the stimulation that they can possibly get. Old souls versus new souls. The old soul and the new soul sometimes have trouble getting along. Sometimes old souls, we're also learning patience as old souls, and the new souls are our greatest teachers. They truly are our greatest teachers in reminding us to grow our patience. Now, this new soul that I regressed also talked to me at length during this regression about the angelics. The angelics were very much a big part of nurturing those new souls, in preparing them to come here with kind of like school teachers in teaching them and giving the knowledge that they need. And one thing that the angelics really encouraged these new souls to do was to have experiences of their own. They're very much taught that to go down and experience and to be open to all experiences. The other fascinating piece of information that came out of this regression was a lot of the new souls that are coming are going to be bringing forth big changes to help bring us back to this oneness that we've kind of pulled away from quite a bit in this physical world. These new souls are pulling further and further away from titles. They're pulling further away from what we consider as the norm. They're coming here to change things. And I think that some of us old souls tend to lean into that with a little bit of resistance, because old souls can pull out the resistance card, because we have that inner knowing of what we feel things should be. So there is a little bit of that old soul versus new soul head butting sometimes. And I think us old souls need to always remember to stay open to what the new souls are coming here to teach, not just us, but the physical world as a whole. It was an absolutely fascinating experience. I absolutely love what I learned from regression work. And it is a key into understanding past lives and new souls and the spirit dimensions, because there is some knowledge there that comes out of regressions that absolutely leaves my jaw dropped every single time I do regression work. A lot of the information that healers or psychics or mediums, a lot of the information that we get comes from being open to learning from new souls and old souls and middle-aged souls through regression work. We don't have a direct 100% in stone, this is how it is. So during that regression, I talked to this client about, where did the new souls come from? And the answer was quite simple. The same place that old souls come from. Souls are created by source energy, and whatever source energy means to you. And some of us were created thousands and thousands of years ago, but didn't come into the physical world now. And new souls are created all the time by source energy. Was exactly how this client explained it. We come from the light and we return to the light, and it was that simple. And during the regression, it was almost like the response was almost like, well, where do you think we come from? We all come from source energy, and we're created at different times. And I thought, what an absolutely fascinating response. When it comes to regression work, I always stay very wide open to all possibilities. I do journal them and as open-minded and just kind of staying in that alignment. I think it's really important on a spiritual journey to stay open to all possibilities, because I don't think any of us have 100% all the answers. I can only share with you what is shared with me with the experiences that I have on my journey. I do hope that this little video on old souls versus new souls and the middle-aged souls resonates with you. It was absolutely fascinating experience for me and for this client. And as always, I am wishing you love, light, blessings, and a spirit guided day.